On December 29th, coinciding with the CCP's announcement of a large-scale military exercise around Taiwan, a large number of mainland Chinese netizens voiced their willingness to volunteer to go to Taiwan as hostages to complete the so-called unification cause. This attracted many netizens who echoed their sentiments and expressed their willingness to go. On the 29th, the CCP's Eastern Theater Command announced it would conduct live-fire exercises around Taiwan starting on the 30th, designating 7 training areas, further escalating tensions across the Taiwan Strait. On the same day the military exercise announcement was made, many mainland netizens filmed videos jokingly stating their willingness to go to Taiwan to promote unification. Some have stated that if they fail to complete the mission, they are willing to remain in Taiwan as hostages, never to return to the mainland.
大家好，今天是2025年12月。
Hello everyone, today is December 29th, 2025. I am applying to the nation under my real name and voluntarily signing a pledge to go to Taiwan to promote reunification. I am willing to bring my entire family to Taiwan to facilitate the great cause of reunification, to persuade the Taiwan authorities to completely return to the embrace of the motherland, and to achieve national reunification. If I fail to complete this mission, I am willing to remain there as hostages, never to return and cause trouble for the people of the motherland. Application date December 29th, 2025.
我自愿冒死去台湾。
I am willing to risk my life to go to Taiwan, find Lai Ching-de, and persuade him to return to the mainland. If I cannot do so, I am willing to be a hostage in Taiwan. If I go and can't be back, then I will never return. These videos quickly went viral on mainland social media with numerous comments such as, "I am also willing to be a hostage," and "Everyone in the world would want to go to such a good place." These comments reflect the true feelings of mainland Chinese people towards Taiwan and cross-strait relations. Despite the CCP's long-term incitement of nationalist sentiment, threats of force against Taiwan, and advocacy of so-called unification, ordinary mainland Chinese living under high-pressure rule actually yearn for the freedom and openness of Taiwanese society. Many mainlanders want to go to Taiwan because of China's economic downturn, rising unemployment, and the multiple burdens of unemployment, pay cuts, and mortgage payments, especially among the younger generation. According to sources within the Chinese Communist Party system, potential protests by unemployed youth have been listed as one of the biggest risks for next year.
27岁，98年的。
I'm 27 years old, born in 1998, and I was laid off today. I received a notification this morning, and the HR person talked to me this afternoon. When I first heard the news, my heart sank. I tried to remain calm and talk about my rights, but my mind went completely blank. Aren't layoffs supposed to be a midlife crisis? How come I'm experiencing this at my age? To be honest, I feel like nothing has ever gone smoothly for me. I graduated with my bachelor's degree in 2020, and then the pandemic hit. So I couldn't even return to my campus for my graduation ceremony. I graduated with my master's degree in 2022. Finding a job was like finding a needle in a haystack. I finally got a job at a big internet company, but every day I'm anxious about layoffs and low performance. 3 different bosses in 2 years. The blogger lamented that colleagues are leaving one by one and the workload is piling up, making it unbearable. Last month, to meet a deadline, he even stayed up until 2 a.m. Unexpectedly this month, his department was suddenly cut. He had been anxious about the layoffs, but when the moment actually arrived, he wasn't afraid anymore. Having worked there for almost 3 years, he wanted to take this opportunity to rest.
我之前发过卖房亏损的视频。
I previously posted a video about losing money selling my house, and some people thought I was just trying to attract traffic. I genuinely hope this didn't happen to me. Actually, what's harder than losing because of the house is that my husband and I are currently unemployed. Yes, we are a typical example of a middle-aged family falling into poverty under the current economic climate. I know many people are also experiencing a housing market crash or unemployment. Today, I'll talk about our situation, hoping to offer some comfort to those of you who are currently anxious. My husband and I both used to work at large internet companies in Beijing, not exactly top-tier companies, but more like second-tier companies. The blogger recalls that she and her husband resigned together in the second half of 2023. The reason was simple. Her husband had been working long hours and his health was failing. One morning, her husband woke up suddenly, unable to move, experiencing heart pain, and it took him a long time to manage to get up. Both were terrified, thinking it was a heart attack, and rushed to the hospital. The test revealed some minor heart problems, but nothing serious. However, the incident served as a wake-up call. She advised her husband, "Why don't you take a break for a while?" After her husband quit his job, she also quit, and the couple enjoyed a carefree 6-month trip, traveling extensively. Unexpectedly, the economic climate deteriorated, and when they returned from their trip, they found it extremely difficult to find work. Previously, their family was quite well off. The couple worked in a major factory in Beijing, owned a home and a car. But now, with the precipitous drop in housing prices, their assets had shrunk significantly, and both were unemployed, plunging them into the lowest point of their lives.
裁员了，没敢告诉他。
I was laid off. I didn't dare tell her. I took her to work this morning, and she thought I was going to work too. She went to work happily as usual, while I quietly returned the way I came, without any destination. Suddenly unemployed at 30, I feel like such a failure. Normally, I should already be at a company at this time. My wife goes out to earn money, and I do the housework. A small family needs 2 people to maintain it. Since I can't contribute financially, I'll contribute my labor. I'm truly a born workhorse. I can't stay idle at all.
90后沪漂夫妻双双被裁员降薪。
A couple in their 20s, both working in Shanghai, faced layoffs and pay cuts. With a monthly mortgage payment of $1,100, should we sell my home to cut our losses or grit our teeth and bear it? My husband and I both graduated from ordinary junior colleges and came to Shanghai from our hometown in Henan in 2016 to work hard. After 5 years of careful budgeting, we finally managed to save enough for a down payment. In 2021, we spent $300,000 to buy this small condo of less than 60 square meters in Shanghai. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-living room condo with a separate kitchen and bathroom. Although small, it has everything we need. We thought our child would finally be free from the constant moving around due to rent increases and could finally enjoy a happy and stable life. However, we never expected that the current economic climate would leave us both facing layoffs and unemployment. Our salaries have been delayed for months after the pay cuts, and the $1,100 mortgage is becoming an unbearable burden. The blogger frankly admitted that selling the home now would wipe out all their savings from 10 years of hard work in Shanghai. But if they don't sell, they worry that if they hold on for a few more months, the condo will be foreclosed on by the court. She sought advice from netizens. Should they sell the home now to cut their losses or grit their teeth and continue to hold on? What do you think they should do?
可能要下去了，再出去搞了216天。
I might not be able to survive. I've been lying in my rented room for 216 days, spending $1 a day. With my savings, I think I can last another 3 months. I've long since adapted to this low-desire lifestyle, but the gas and electricity bills are painful. I've reduced my showers from once a day to once every 2 or 3 days. I try not to touch the switches during the day. Cooking for myself definitely saves money. Sometimes I only eat 1 meal a day, 7 cents for an egg and a quarter for noodles. Adding a few greens, making it a satisfying meal. Without exercise, my appetite has decreased, but my body feels lighter. Life is only about 30,000 days long, so let's not rush, let nature take its course.
36岁大厂裁员，本月零收入。
I'm 36 years old, laid off from a big company, have zero income this month, but received a notice from the developer urging me to take possession of the condo. In 2024, I was $300,000 in debt, gritting my teeth, and bought the school district property solely for my child's sake, hoping for a better learning environment. Now, the mortgage, property tax, maintenance fund, and property management fees are all significant expenses. After buying the home, a friend asked me, "Property prices have been falling. Do you regret it?" I replied, "If I have any regrets, it's that I didn't graduate during the era of soaring housing prices, missing out on the asset dividends bought by rising prices, and also missing out on the future era of universal education. My child still has to face the selection process of middle school entrance exams." The blogger is asking for opinions from netizens. If you also have a child about to start elementary school, would you spend all your savings to buy a school district property for him? Some netizens commented, "Yes, because I don't want my child to lose at the starting line." Some said, "No, because the prices are unreasonably high." Others said, "I want to buy, but I can't afford it. I want to give up, but I'm unwilling to." You slept all afternoon. When you woke up, it was pitch black and there wasn't a sound. You looked out the window. It wasn't completely dark yet. You groped around and found your phone under your pillow. Looking at the screen, there were no messages. You asked me what loneliness is. I think this is loneliness. I'm planning to default on my mortgage. In October 2019, I bought a condo in the eastern part of Xuchang. The down payment was $40,000, the mortgage was $130,000, and the total price was $170,000. I've been paying off the mortgage for almost 5 years now. Previously, the monthly payment was $770, but after the interest rate dropped, it's now $570. In 5 years, I paid almost $40,000, but now, looking at my current situation, I've only paid back less than $14,000 of the principal. My down payment is gone, and the $20,000 in interest I paid is gone. Condos with the same layout in the same complex are now selling for around $110,000. The blogger said helplessly that her job is unstable, and she's not even sure if she'll get paid next month. Her child's schooling also requires money everywhere, and the pressure is mounting. At the current market price, she can only sell the condo for a maximum of $110,000, just enough to pay off the mortgage. This means she lost $110,000, not including finishing costs, taxes, maintenance fees, and other miscellaneous expenses. If she sells the condo, her whole family will have to move, and her child's schooling will be affected. She admits she really doesn't know what to do. Buying an $860,000 condo in Beijing is a huge burden for people like us from rural areas, raising 4 children. Besides the joy, it's mostly pressure. We bought this home at the peak of the housing market because we needed to own our own home so our second child could transfer to Beijing. We only looked at this one condo project and placed the offer without telling our family. My parents and in-laws didn't know. We took out a large loan to avoid worrying our family. Later, we completed the finishes and paid off part of the loan early, only telling the elders when things were a little easier. With this home, our second child was able to transfer to Beijing smoothly and didn't have to be a left-behind child. Our third and fourth children can also attend a nearby elementary school. The blogger said that to pay off the mortgage, their family has always lived very frugally. Her husband's down jacket has been worn for several years now, and he can't bear to replace it. She admitted that she has no education and has been a stay-at-home mom for years with no income, so her husband has been almost entirely supporting the mortgage. Although he often reassures her, "It's okay, I'm here," she still feels uneasy. The $3,000 monthly mortgage payment weighs heavily on her shoulders. However, she also said that although things are tight now, both she and her husband are hardworking and believe that as long as they work together, life won't always be this difficult.
81年45岁 失业半年多了。
I was born in 1981, I'm 45 years old, and I've been unemployed for over half a year. Today, I applied to 3 companies and was rejected by all of them. The reason? It's simple, I'm too old. Opening job search apps is either security guards, delivery men, housekeepers, food delivery, or DD ride-hailing services. Maybe 45 years old has already labeled us, and those are the only jobs we can do. If we 45-year-olds are truly not accepted by the workplace, then the only option left is to start our own business. But what can we actually do? Let me briefly introduce my personal situation, which is also what everyone in the comments section is concerned about. I work in internet development, and I've been in this industry for 15 years. I have some savings, but my savings aren't much. If I don't work, it'll only last about 2 to 3 years. I have a car loan but no mortgage, which is a stroke of luck amidst misfortune. I didn't buy a home in Shenzhen a few years ago. Before the pandemic, I almost made a down payment, but after another round of soaring housing prices, I gave up the idea. So I'm very fortunate. If I had a mortgage now, I think I'd be living a very miserable life. I'm that young widow born in the 1990s, earning $360 a month, raising 2 sons alone in Harbin by selling insurance. I remember vividly that on November 1st, 2020, I spent 2 hours in Wanda Plaza in Jiangbei, Harbin, buying a 120 square meter, 3-bedroom, 1 living room, 2-bathroom condo for $200,000. At the time, I made a down payment of $40,000 and a monthly mortgage payment was $800. I didn't think much about it. I just wanted to save some money to pay off the mortgage. Blogger Xiaomi recalled that who could have imagined that in May 2024 her husband would suddenly pass away unexpectedly. At that time, $146,000 of the mortgage remained unpaid, but the home price had plummeted and its market value was only around $130,000. The monthly mortgage payment of over $700 was suffocating her. After much deliberation, she finally decided to sell the home. As 2026 approached, unease was rising in Chinese society. According to overseas media reports, the Chinese Communist Party has listed potential protests by unemployed youth as one of the most significant risks for the coming year. According to statistics from China Dissent Monitor, a website under Freedom House, 1,392 protests were recorded in China in the third quarter of 2025, an increase of approximately 45% compared to the same period in 2024. Participants were mainly workers, homeowners, and villagers, but also included parents, students, and investors. Regionally, Guangdong saw the most protesters, followed by Henan, Hunan, Hebei, and Shandong. Wan Gong, a pseudonym, a Shenzhen resident who has long assisted migrant workers in protecting their rights, stated, "Many young people returning to their hometowns find their land has been contracted out, making it impossible to find work. Upon returning to the city, they receive no wages and are forced to sleep on street corners, surviving on a few pieces of bread a day." Some scholars warn that if society lacks normal channels for expression and buffering mechanisms for a long period, various pressures may accumulate silently and erupt in more unpredictable ways in the future. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.